Hi, this is 365801 and this is a TBR video. So I've got a wee half an hour while I've got a video exporting. I thought I would do a little TBR video for October for a couple of readathons that are happening. But I'm looking at my pile and thinking, what do I want to read for October? And this is kind of like some of the things that I might end up reading. There are two readathons, Manga FREAK-A-THON, Bizarre Individual, Marg reads manga, and I don't know, someone else I think is hosting as well this year. So there's a bingo board, so I've just written out the things to do, or try to find. So these are things that I need to find by reading manga. And I quite like these ones, or the treasure hunt ones, just because you can read anything, and if you happen to find it, great. But there is also another one that's being hosted by Sarah, also on Instagram, and she's got the Manga Ween challenge. Just ignore my writing, it's a mess. But this is a little like sort of treasure hunt bingo board as well. I just wrote the easy words. She's got the proper words. Go over to her channel. I'll put the link in the description and find the Manga Ween bingo board challenge, because she's got all the proper words for fears, the different phobias. But some of these are the same, so that should be good. So there's like bleeding there, and then there's blood there. So if I find one, I'll be able to find the other. There's holes there, and then a hole there. So if I read a lot of BL, well, I think this will be an easy one. But there's definitely some ones in here that I will probably need to read some scarier or kind of gruesome ones as well. So we're going to try and find some things that I kind of was planning on reading anyway and make a little TBR for me. The first one is actually one that I've had on my TBR before, and I didn't get around to reading it, and I really want to because I've read most of my other Kuma titles here, and that is Boys of the Dead. So this is a BL zombie one, zombie BL, that I think quite a lot of people have had. It's been out for a while now, and I didn't read it last year when it was on my TBR, so I definitely want to add it to this year's TBR and get it read. Now, another one that I want to try and see if I can read is At Full Moon. This has been in my drawer for quite some time. I've tried starting volume 1 a couple of times. So it's a continuation of Sanami Mato's Until the Full Moon, and I've read these ones already, but I haven't read this continuation. So I feel like At Full Moon is another one that I would like to read, because it's been in the drawer for a while, but I just haven't read it. And I've read most things in here. Well, some things. But this is another one. Plus it has a moon, and that's one of the prompts for the treasure hunt. So I think that would be a good one to read. Now, another one is Monster and the Beast by Renji. This is volume 4. So I have read volumes 1, 2, and 3, but I have not read volume 4, which is the final volume. So I'd like to do a reread of the series and then finally complete this. And I think reading it in October would be good because it's got a monster and a beast in the title. So surely they should help me to find some of the prompts in the bingo board. Another one that was in that stack as well is Our Torsos Align, Human Monster Love by Ryo Sumiyoshi, which is a big omnibus of some short stories. So I think this would be quite good, and I'll be able to get quite a lot of things from the bingo board if I read this one as well. Now, another one I have here is The Summer Hikaru Died, Volume 1 by Moku Mokuren. I have read this digitally, but I'd like to do a reread now that I have a physical copy too. Now I have a one-shot here called A Hero in the Demon's Castle, which is another Kuma title. It has a demon in it, so surely that would be a good one to read for October. I don't know what it's about. I haven't actually heard very much about it, but that's going to be added to my TBR as well. One that I've been meaning to actually properly get started is Merman in My Tub. This is a series that I've been collecting by Itokichi, and Seven Seas. I have, I think, volume 6 still to get, and then I'd have a complete set. But I actually don't know if it's worth continue to get. Is it worth having? So I kind of want to give this a go, at least volume 1, and see if I should make an effort to get the final volume of the series. So I'll be able to read volumes 1 through 5 if I want to, and if it's worth it. So I'm going to add it to the TBR. And another one that's way down here at the bottom of our pile, that is Hanger by Hirotaka Kisaragi, volume 4. And I have picked this up and it's been sitting there for a while and I really want to read it. I really enjoy this series. It's sort of Neo-Tokyo, kind of like a steampunky, cyber futuristic sort of story. So I really want to continue with the next volume. So I might do a reread of volumes 1, 2, and 3 and then continue on with volume 4. There's a few series and they're, I think, mostly Sublime that I'd like to actually read. Now the first one here is Bad Boys Happy Home. I have read volume 1, but I didn't have volume 2, but I now have volume 2, so I can read this 3-volume series. Now I think from the first volume there was a lot of like feeling of dread and violence, and there might have been some stuff happening in the next volume. I don't know but I want to read it. Bad Boys Happy Home. I feel like it'll be an interesting one. It's also got an interesting art style, following these 2 boys who are teenagers. And one of them definitely has an interesting background, but we don't know too much about it. So I'd like to maybe get this read during October. Now another one that I have finally completed and I think would be violent and aggressive and psychological is Cast Heaven by Chise Ogawa. This is one that I've read the first 3 volumes of, but I needed volume 4, and I kind of feel very uncomfortable, but at the same time I feel like this is the time of year to be reading things like this. So I have the full series now, 8 volumes. It's a lot to get through, but I feel like this would be a good time to read it in October. So another big series to read from Sublime. Now the final series that I want to talk about that I might try and see if I can pick up and read, but I'm still unsure if I want to. And that is Jealousy by Scarlett Berico. Because I needed volume 5, I think it was, and I picked up volume 5, so I now have the full set. So there's 3 now that I have that I have all volumes I haven't actually read. So this one I haven't even read volume 1. I know it's going to be one that I find maybe uncomfortable, but I just watched Bizarre to be a wee review of this one and say that it was okay. So maybe I'm going to be all right. I don't know. But I feel very apprehensive about it, but I also feel like I should make the effort to read it. So October might be the time for me to do that. So this is everything that I'm hoping to read, fingers crossed, for the month of October, for specifically the Manga Freakathon and the Manga Ween readathon. I will put the links to the hosts down below in the description, so go check them out, give them some love, take part if you can. I hopefully, fingers crossed, will do as much as I possibly can in the month of October. And I'm looking forward to trying to find things. I do enjoy the treasure hunt bingo boards. So yeah, if you want to go and give the hosts some love. If you are interested in buddy reading any of these during October, it's always good to have some help and support, but also some accountability. So if you're planning on reading any of these in October, let me know. We can maybe help each other out, because I think I will need some support. Some of the ones like Boys of the Dead and A Hero in the Demon's Castle, they're one-shots, so they'll be a little bit easier to read. And some that I've already read most of, like Monster and the Beast, will be fairly straightforward. Hanger as well. It'll just be the volume 4s that will be the new reads, so I'll be able to quickly reread the ones that I've already read. But I think some of the Sublime longer series will be a little bit tricky for me. Cast Heavens, 8 volumes, Jealousy 5, and so I do think they might be a little bit, I might need some support. So yeah, I'd like to know what you think of any of these, if you're going to be reading them, and if you are looking for some recommendations, I will put a link down in the description as well to a video I made a couple of years ago of some spooky BL reads, so recommendations are in there as well if you're looking for anything specific that is BL related. I should probably do an updated version of that video, but yeah. So thanks for watching this, hopefully, fingers crossed, very quick TBR video for the month of October. Let me know what you're reading in the spooky season, and if you're going to be taking part in these 2 readathons or any others, let me know as well. Thanks so much for watching to the end of this video. Take care, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!